Great. Well, it's great to be joined by Ben Turner. Ben, we'll obviously talk about the upcoming game and how the week's gone. But first, just looking back to last week, I mean, it was a great result against Barnet, but it was also a string of great results really in recent weeks. I mean, what do you put that down to? What's the upturn?
Hard work from the players. There's no two ways about it. As a staff, you implement a framework and you implement, the shape that you want the lads to play in, and you give them sort of, like I say, a framework to work in. Be it with set pieces, be it with how we want to play, what we expect from the players. But the players put all the work in. We don't do the running. We don't do the hard graft in that respect, and they deserve a lot of credit because they've come a long way in terms of since me and the gaffer have been in, and to get 4 wins from the last five, it's something we are really pleased with, really proud of, and like I say, all credit goes to the players. They've put a lot of hard work in to get those results, and touched on it last week after the game. It's a case of, can we keep that going, because we don't want to be back where we were when we first came in.
And I think I'll stop saying this after this time, but it's a well-known fact that we hadn't won a game at home since August up until a few weeks ago, and now we're unbeaten in 6. We won 4 of those, so it's good to see that bond building with the home crowd, isn't it, as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when we came in, like you say, we were made aware of that stat, and obviously we knew if that carries on, we will be relegated and we'll be in the division below. So it's something that we had to change. It didn't change overnight. We trained the players hard. We brought some new ideas in, and didn't instantly work, but things that are probably worthwhile are not sort of overnight things, are they? Most things take a bit of work for them to actually be worthwhile and actually stick. And I think that now we're in a position where we know what we're trying to do. The players know what we're trying to do. I think the fitness levels are higher now, so we're more able to carry out the game in the manner that we want to play, and that does take time. Maybe the hard work we put in December and January, leading into February, is now paying off. Now we're in March. If that makes sense, you don't always get, you can't work hard for a small amount of time, not get what you want, and then down tools. But nobody around here is down tools. Our senior players have drove the standards, the managers drove the standards, and the staff have drove the standards, and everyone's wanted to move forward together. And maybe we're reaping the rewards recently for the hard training weeks we had when we first came to the club.
And it's good to see fans coming to games with a bit of a smile on their face and expecting a good performance.
That's it, yeah. I mean, we're not daft. We hear some of the chants that have been sung, and I'm sure it's it's in jest, and it's the fans trying to keep themselves happy to be here. But we were thinking, it's something that wanted to drive us on, so we can be singing for the right reasons, not singing sort of sarcastic songs about our own form, if that makes sense. But like I say, it's something we understand, because they didn't have anything to shout about, and the gaffer and myself will be the first people to say to the players every week, go out and give them something positive to sing about, and give them a lift, is what the gaffer would say a lot. Go and give the crowd a lift, because they needed a lift. And hopefully now they've seen from the last 6 games that we can give them something to shout about, and something that lifts them without having to find their own way of doing it at our own expense, if you like.
And it's a crazy league this year. I mean, 6 games to go, and there isn't really a middle. It's like the top and the top. Yeah. So, I mean, you play Premier League, so you played under pressure. It's not just us are playing under pressure. Every team is playing with an element of pressure, and every game's pressure. How do you get the best out of yourself as a player when you're under pressure?
Well, it's difficult. Some players are better under pressure than others. And like you say, there's different levels of football, but I think at every level it carries its own pressure. If you imagine our players would be under a lot more financial pressure than players in the Premier League. So there's more eyes on you in the Premier League, but at this level you're fighting for your next contract, you're fighting to pay your mortgage a lot more than some of the top boys in the Premier League. So that's the situation most of our squad are in. We probably only have 4 or 5 under contract for next season, and we've got 20-something players in the building. So I suppose the best thing to do is keep your head down and keep thinking about why you need your next contract and what that means to you, and keep driving yourself forward for that reason. That was certainly something that I did, especially in the back half of my career, when when I was coming down the other side and at lower levels. It's can you get what you can out of the game. one, you enjoy playing it, but two, don't leave contracts behind before you're finished. So yeah, the lads have to push, all for their own reasons. But you can see from the results, and you can see every day in training, and the way they conduct themselves, they are pushing, which is fantastic for us to see.
Yeah, they've done absolutely brilliantly, I must admit. And how has training gone this week, for example, since last Saturday?
Yeah, good. We took Monday off, so it was I think it was the first, maybe the second time we've given 2 days off on the trot since we've been here. We couldn't really justify it with the situation we were in until recently, but we gave them a Monday off because they've put that much work in. We felt that it would freshen the players up, and we were really, really pleased with how they trained on Tuesday. You know, the message was before they had the days off, don't come in Tuesday and be sloppy and need a day to get going, because you know, you have to conduct yourself professionally if you expect to get days off and be rewarded with that. But the players trained brilliantly on Tuesday, and the week's gone really well. We're really happy with it. With the amount of games we've had, we've probably took down the distances that we've covered in training. We've tweaked them to fit what we wanted from the week. But the quality's been there, the enthusiasm's been there, and the lads seem to be in a good place. But again, like we said last week, if we take our foot off the gas in terms of the performance, we can quite quickly slip back to where we were in terms of it felt a bit doom and gloom, and we don't want to go back there. So again, we've said all along, results will take care of themselves if you perform. Don't worry about results, worry about performing, because if you perform consistently, you'll get results, and that is why we have the results. It's not a magic potion or anything the players have been given, or any drastic changes. It's hard work, consistency, and going out and performing. I felt we performed fantastically well at Rochdale, for example, and we got no points.
Yeah.
It's easy then to sulk and feel sorry for yourself, but we bounced back and beat Barnet, who was second in the league, by rights in the very next game. And that just shows you there was not much difference at all in the performances. But if you concentrate on performing, your results will follow.
And are there any squad changes or ins and outs or anything you're able to tell us?
We've got the same touch wood. We've got no further injury problems since the last game, and we've managed to bring in Alan Judge, who will give us a lot of experience. He's a very good player, played for some fantastic clubs at a high level, including playing for his country, the Republic of Ireland. So he's an older, more senior player, and we've got him on board until the end of the season. He's had a injury hit period in his career recently, but we feel that he's in a position where he can play now, try and prove himself, prove his fitness, and we can give him that platform to do that. And we're really, really happy to have him here, and we've encouraged the younger players especially to sort of tap into him for any information they can get, and any advice he can give those, and just the way he conducts himself and trains, just have a look, because he's been at levels that a lot of the lads will want to eventually get to.
And I read a bit about him, and as you say, he's had setbacks, but he's a real battler and fighter, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's very good on the ball, but he's high energy, and he's got a good character about him, which the manager already knew about, and you can see that in training as well. And he's certainly one that we're very happy to have, and we're going to see how that pans out for us and for himself, and we're delighted he's here.
Bit of a Dublin takeover.
Yeah. I'm surrounded by Irishmen.
and finally, I mean, Southend themselves, I mean, to be honest, they've done brilliantly this season, considering the challenges they've had off the pitch. And
absolutely.
So what are we going to expect from this weekend's game, do you think?
We've looked into it. Like you say, the points deduction, you take that away, they're second in the league. So similar set of results to Barnet over the season. And I made no bones about it, and the manager made no bones about it, how much we respect the teams that are higher up the league at this stage of the season, because you don't fluke that. We've played football, and we've been on this side of football, and after 40 odd games, if you're statistically second best in the league, then in terms of results, you're a very, very good side, aren't you? And again, like the Barnet game, we'll be the underdogs. That's fine. We don't mind that. We've looked into what they're good at. We've looked into things that we hope we can get some joy off, but we're under no illusion at the task of this match, especially at their ground. And they're on a fantastic run as well. So it's two informed sides in the league. Still both got plenty to play for, like you say. No, there's no such thing as mid-table, so neither of the sides are sort of already on their holiday. So hopefully it'll be a really competitive match, and one we can get a result in.
And there'll be a lot of Woking fans there, I'm sure. And they've travelled well, haven't they, the fans?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've been everywhere we've gone. we've been surprised with the numbers that at this level that we've actually travelled with, and like you say, hopefully the form helps the numbers grow and helps the enthusiasm, and more people can be buying into what we're trying to do with the club and where we're trying to go. And this will be a big test of that at the weekend. There's no doubt about that.